People don't lose money because they're unlucky. They lose it because they fail to protect it. Warren Buffett's approach to money begins with defense, not growth. Most people think the purpose of money is growth. They focus on making more, chasing higher numbers, faster returns, bigger wins. This mindset feels logical because growth is visible and exciting. But it skips a quieter truth. Nothing grows if it doesn't survive first. Survival is the foundation that every future gain stands on, and without it, effort becomes temporary. Money behaves differently from ambition. Ambition recovers quickly after mistakes. Money does not. A single deep loss can erase years of discipline. This is why survival matters more than speed. Staying in the game is not passive. It is strategic. It means structuring decisions so that no single mistake has the power to end the journey. People underestimate how fragile progress can be. They assume time will fix errors, that effort can always replace loss. But loss changes position. It reduces options. With fewer options, recovery requires more risk. More risk increases the chance of further damage. This is how one mistake turns into a cycle. Growth thinking asks, how much can I gain? Survival thinking asks, what can I afford to lose? These questions lead to entirely different behavior. One invites optimism. The other demands realism. Realism is not pessimism. It is respect for limits. Limits protect continuity. They force discipline. Without limits, confidence expands unchecked. People take positions that only work if everything goes right. When reality deviates, consequences are immediate and severe, survival-oriented decisi. Ons leave room for error. They assume uncertainty, not perfection. The pressure to grow quickly comes from comparison. Watching others appear successful creates urgency. Urgency compresses time. Compressed time leads to aggressive decisions. Aggression ignores fragility. Fragility reveals itself only under stress. Survival thinking values resilience over brilliance. It does not aim to be righty. Bury time. It aims to avoid being wrong in ways that matter. There is a difference between small losses that teach and large losses that remove choice. Most irreversible damage happens during periods of confidence. When things feel safe, defenses weaken. Safeguards feel unnecessary. People expose themselves because nothing has gone wrong yet. This is when protection is most needed. Protection fade. Hell's boring. It does not provide stories. It does not impress others. It rarely feels rewarding in the moment, but it creates longevity. Longevity allows compounding. Compounding transforms small advantages into meaningful outcomes. Survival also protects mindset. Large losses distort thinking. They introduce fear, regret, and pressure. Decisions made under pressure are reactive. Reaction priority. Says relief over logic. Protection prevents the emotional damage that leads to poor decisions later. Staying in the game requires humility. It requires accepting that outcomes are uncertain, that skill does not guarantee success, and that external forces cannot be controlled. Humility leads to preparation. Preparation reduces vulnerability. People often confuse caution with weakness. In reality, caution preserves strength. Strength is the ability to continue. Those who survive downturns are the ones positioned to benefit when conditions improve. Survival-oriented thinking also reduces complexity. Complex strategies often hide risks. Hidden risks are dangerous because they are unaccounted for. Simple structures expose weaknesses early. Early exposure allows adjustment before damage becomes permanent. Time is the greatest ally, but only for those who remain present. Time does nothing for those forced out by loss. Survival gives time the opportunity to work. Every decision carries two outcomes, the best case and the worst case. Growth-focused minds obsess over best case. Survival-focused minds respect worst case. This respect shapes position size, timing, and patience. Patience I. Self is a form of protection. Waiting avoids unnecessary exposure. It allows observation. It creates distance from emotion. Distance improves judgment. Survival also means resisting the need to be constantly involved. Constant action increases error. Fewer better decisions reduce risk. Activity feels productive, but restraint often produces better outcomes. The goal is not to avoid all loss. OSS is unavoidable. The goal is to avoid catastrophic loss. Catastrophic loss changes identity. It shifts focus from strategy to recovery. Recovery is harder than progress because it starts from a lower base. Survival first thinking aligns with reality. Reality is unpredictable. Plans fail. Assumptions break. Systems shift. Those prepared for uncertainty adapt. Those built on certainty collapse. Protection is not fear-driven. It is clarity-driven. It recognizes that the future is unknown and designs decisions accordingly. It values endurance over excitement. When survival is prioritized, growth becomes sustainable. Gains accumulate without constant threat of reversal. Confidence becomes quiet instead of loud. Decisions become measured instead of rushed. The strongest position is Wantha. T can withstand time, volatility, and error. This position does not promise fast success. It promises continuity. Continuity is what turns effort into outcome. Survival does not announce itself. It reveals its value only in moments of stress. When others are forced to exit, those who protected themselves remain. Remaining is powerful. Remaining creates leverage. Remaining allows choice. Choice I, the ultimate form of wealth. Everything meaningful compounds slowly. Relationships, skills, trust. Money is no different. Compounding requires staying alive to the process. Growth is optional. Survival is mandatory. Once survival is secured, growth becomes easier, calmer, and more rational. The foundation of every lasting result is defense. Without defense, offense is reckless. With defense, progress becomes inevitable over time. Loss is often misunderstood because it is measured in numbers rather than consequences. People focus on how much was lost, not on what the loss changed. A temporary decline feels recoverable. A permanent loss reshapes the future. It removes options, narrows paths, and alters behavior long after the numbers stop moving. The real danger is not fluctuation, fluke. Tuation is movement around a center. It tests patience but preserves possibility. Permanent loss shifts the center itself. It lowers the baseline from which everything else must grow. Recovering from that new baseline requires more effort, more time, and often more risk than before. Most people believe they can always make it back. This belief is comforting, but it is not always true. Time is finite. Energy is finite. Opportunity is unevenly distributed. When losses are deep, the requirement for recovery increases non-linearly. A small loss needs a small gain to recover. A large loss needs an outsized gain. This asymmetry is rarely respected. Permanent loss often arrives disguised as temporary pain. It does not announce itself clearly. It looks like a setback that will pass. By the time T is recognized as permanent, the damage is already done. This delay creates false confidence. People take risks believing they have room to recover, only to discover later that the room is gone. The mind struggles with permanence. It prefers to believe that everything is reversible. This bias leads to underestimating downside. Optimism fills the gap where caution should live. Optimism is useful for starting things. It is dangerous for protecting them. Permanent loss is not always dramatic. It can be slow. A series of small mistakes, each justified, each manageable on its own, can quietly erode position. Over time, the accumulation becomes structural. What was once flexibility turns into constraint. One of the most overlooked costs of permanent loss is psychological. Large losses change how people think. Confidence becomes fragile. Decisions become defensive. Fear replaces patience. Even when opportunities appear, hesitation blocks action. The loss continues to compound through missed chances. Permanent loss also distorts time horizons. After a major setback, people feel pressure to recover quickly. This pressure shortens thinking. Shortened thinking increases risk, increased ROI. SCAE raises the probability of further loss. The cycle feeds itself. Avoiding permanent loss is not about avoiding all risk. It is about avoiding risks that cannot be survived. Survival is the filter. If an action threatens the ability to continue, it deserves skepticism regardless of potential reward. Many people confuse volatility with danger. Volatility is visible and uncomfortable. Permanent L. OSS is quiet and often invisible until it is complete. Because volatility feels worse, people focus on smoothing it out while ignoring deeper threats. Leverage is one of the fastest ways to turn normal mistakes into permanent damage. Borrowed confidence amplifies outcomes. It magnifies gains, but it also magnifies errors. When leverage is involved, there is less room for error. Margin for recover. Y shrinks. Permanence becomes more likely. Another source of permanent loss is complexity. Complex systems fail in unexpected ways. Risks hide in interactions, not components. When things go wrong, they go wrong together. Simplicity exposes risk earlier. Early exposure allows correction before damage becomes irreversible. Permanent loss also comes from ignoring incentives. When incentives in core aid short-term behavior, long-term safety is sacrificed. People take risks they would never take if they bore the full consequence. Eventually, consequences arrive anyway. The belief that intelligence prevents loss is misleading. Smart people experience permanent loss too. Often, intelligence increases confidence. Confidence increases exposure. Exposure increases fragility. Awareness does not equal immunity. Protection against permanent loss requires humility. It requires admitting that not everything can be predicted or controlled. It requires designing decisions that assume uncertainty rather than deny it. Redundancy is a form of protection. Having multiple paths reduces dependence on any single outcome. Concentration increases efficiency, but it also increases vulnerability. Balance matters. Permanent loss is especially dangerous because it removes time as a healer. Time heals fluctuations. It does not heal elimination. Once something is gone, time only measures how long it has been gone. People often focus on maximizing upside without defining acceptable downside. This imbalance invites catastrophe. Defining downside first changes behavior. It sets boundaries. Boundaries P. Protect continuity. Avoiding permanent loss also preserves emotional stability. Stability improves decision-making. Calm decisions outperform desperate ones over time. Emotional capital is as important as financial capital. There is also an identity cost. Losses that change lifestyle or status affect self-perception. This shift influences future choices. People may become overly cautious or recklessly aggressive, both reactions rooted in the same damage. Permanent loss narrows the range of acceptable outcomes. It turns optional risks into forced bets. Forced bets reduce agency. Reduced agency increases dependence on luck. Luck is not a strategy. It is a variable. Strategies that require luck to survive are fragile. Fragility increases the chance of permanent damage. Resilience is built by respecting worst-case scenarios, not imagining them as distant possibilities, but treating them as real constraints. Constraints guide structure. Structure supports endurance. Endurance allows learning. Learning compounds only if the learner remains present. Those removed by loss cannot benefit from future insight. Permanent loss also teaches the wrong lessons. Survivors of near misses may feel invincible. Victims of deep losses may feel cursed. Both interpretations distort reality. The goal is not to eliminate pain. Pain is informative. The goal is to eliminate destruction. Destruction ends the conversation. PR. Protecting against permanent loss requires patience, restraint, and acceptance of slower progress. Slower progress that continues beats faster progress that ends. Every decision should be evaluated not just by what it can create, but by what it can destroy. Creation excites the imagination. Destruction defines the boundary. When boundaries are respected, growth becomes optional rather than necessary. Rye. Optionality is power. Power reduces urgency. Reduced urgency improves judgment. Judgment improves outcomes not by predicting the future, but by surviving it. Surviving keeps options open. Open options allow adaptation. Adaptation is the ultimate advantage in uncertain environments. Those who adapt endure. Those who endure accumulate experience. Experience sharpens perception. Permanent loss closes doors permanently. Avoiding it keeps doors unlocked even if they are not immediately used. The most important victories are invisible. They are the disasters that never happened, the risks that were avoided, the mistakes that were never made. Permanent loss does not care about intention. It does not negotiate. It only responds to exposure. Reducing exposure reduces permanence. This focus changes how success is defined. Success becomes staying intact while improving position. Improvement without integrity is temporary. When integrity of position is preserved, future opportunities become accessible. When it is compromised, even good opportunities cannot be taken. The quiet discipline of defense rarely feels rewarding. It lacks drama. It lacks stories. But it preserves the ability to write future stories without being forced into endings that arrive too early or without warning and leave no space to continue exploring what could have been done differently if the damage had not already crossed the line where recovery required more than effort and time. And ere the cost was no longer measured in numbers, but in choices that were no longer available.